So what we'll be doing is starting out holding our feet. And one of the helpful things to know about Continuum, if you don't know this yet, is that where we put our hands, they become like tuning forks. So it helps the sound to go there. And the purpose of really this whole first part of the sequence is to help, Emily talks about preparing the tissue. So it's that we go through our lives and our tissue gets compressed, dealing with the traffic and looking at pictures and talking and all that. So our tissue gets compressed. And the way I think of it, when I make a sound into the tissue, it's like the sound goes in, and sound is a vibration, right? So it kind of shakes the tissue up and helps it to start loosening and softening. So we're going to actually work through really our whole body with this puffed O sound. And we're going to do something interesting with it. So those of you who have been doing it, it won't be exactly what you've been doing. So it's like this. I'm going to start out by holding the balls of my feet and toes. And then I'm going to let there be a little interval between that and the next one. And during the interval, I'm going to think about making little movements with my face, just like we were doing with our toes and fingers and tails earlier. I'm going to do that in my face. Can you see the movement? Yeah. So do that for a little bit, then I'm going to move on to the next place. One of the things I'm doing when I'm doing the puffed O is I'm thinking about this area of my face. And remember, the face grows on the heart. Right? So there's an energetic connection between the face and the heart. And there's also one other piece of information. There's also an important connection. I mentioned the heart expresses itself in part through the face. We talk about the social nervous system as it's the nervous system within us that enables us to actually communicate with each other and to make contact with each other, which is a very heartful thing to do. It's also something we do if we're in danger. We'll look to see, how's mom responding? Is it safe? Or, there was an earthquake in here one time during a dive. I think we all opened up our eyes and we looked around. Were you there? Yeah. Yeah. So this is the social nervous system, and actually we look around to see what others are doing. And that enables us to actually come together as a group in case we need to, or if that's helpful. We can use our minds, our brains, to figure out what we need to do. Since our human bodies aren't that strong compared to a lot of other animals, our social nervous system is very developed. So we really have a lot of ability to cooperate between each other. What happens, however, when we have a lot of trauma in our histories, our personal histories, is that that tends to not get as developed as it could. And also it requires, in babies, it requires a certain kind of relationship with mom or a caregiver in order to really develop that. So what's been found is that by actually stimulating or awakening parts of the body that are associated with the social nervous system, which includes the face, the eyes, the voice, ears, hearing, which we're hearing when we're making a sound. We're also hearing our sound, as well as some other things, that can help to reawaken and strengthen the social nervous system. So we're getting this added little mysterious benefit here by moving these little muscles in our faces. I'm going to do the last place and then go into open attention. And just notice what happens in your system, in your body, as I do that. My body's starting to move on its own. I'm just going to let it do that. So I'm moving into open attention here. To say this is intensely pleasurable. Just so I mentioned earlier, you could do that last part lying down. So if I do it lying down, my hands are like this. Chances are, in the open attention, something quite different would happen than sitting up. You can make a choice about how to do that. The second part of the sequence will be doing lying down.